Erlanger, Kentucky is the site of the Super Bowl TV Merit Tournament. I'm Nick Benge along with Eddie Jackson, and we've got a good group of bowlers today, Eddie. And first of all, let's take a look at how do you get to this point.
Well, Nick, it's very simple. All you have to do is be a league player here at Super Bowl. And for the young ladies, all they have to do is have bowled a 175 game or better, and for the men, a 200 game. And obviously, this is all handicap play. There is a $12 entry fee, and they qualify here every Saturday and again on Sunday. The top 3 young ladies and the top 3 men win the tournament. So that's how it is. And they meet here on Saturday morning or Sunday morning to bowl. Next Saturday, you know, Nick will be here on the Sunday, taping and showing on the Sunday.
Okay, taking a quick look at the lane conditions, Eddie. They looked a little wet in the middle and a little dry on the outside.
Well, that may be. I don't know, Nick. They're using a century, which should put down a pretty uniform condition all the way across. They use what they call a blend here, and the blend meets with ABC specifications. So we should have good scoring conditions.
Okay. We'll be back with the lady bowlers first. We have 3 lady bowlers and then 3 men bowlers in a ladder procedure to meet the top qualifier. And we'll be back with our first match between Janice McKinney and Jordre right after this. Erlanger, Kentucky, Eddie, that's where we're at. For the second week of qualifying, and here's Janice McKinney. She was on the program last week. She's starting off on lane 7. She went a little bit left there, Eddie.
Well, she watched the show last week, and through the grapevine, I heard that she paid a little bit of attention to our tips, and she's moved everything to the right and trying to keep the ball on the right-hand side of the lane. We'll see how she fares here this morning. As you notice, she's cross lane, shooting down.
Good-looking ball.
And for the cover.
There we go. Our first mark of the week right off the bat. Janice last week ran into a little bit of trouble and rolled a 187 and lost to Jean Weatherford in the first round. But if there was more frames, she would have pulled that one out. She was looking good towards the end.
She got out of the gate a little slow last week, Nick. And here's Jordre.
She throws a good-looking ball, a little right for a 7 count.
Well, Jane, you know, I think she's going to have to make a move to the right. I've noticed in practice everything she was throwing was down the center of the lane with a little bit of a twist of the hand, which causes a reverse. She's got a 7-pin count. The main thing here is to cover that 8-pin.
It's a good-looking ball.
She does quite nice.
Yeah. Okay, so both bowlers start off with a 7 spare, and Janice McKinney is a 36 handicap, and Jordre is a 33 handicap, so not much difference, Eddie.
No, it looks like Jane's going to have to give Janice 3 pins. She's making an approach from the right, but then she drifts left.
Good-looking ball. Watch this. Mark it down. There it is. There it is. In practice, that was the ball. She really looked good in practice. She had her confidence up, and this is her first week on our program. I understand that she was on another program. Did you say that?
No. She's quite used to competition, though, because she's been into these midget car racing and all that good stuff, and so competition is no problem to her. And I notice she's down here eating little bits of candy to give her energy to keep her going through the whole show.
Well, you got to win 2 matches to take it all. Here's Janice McKinney.
She's going in the pocket.
Beautiful ball. So the ladies are coming out of the gate real strong. We're all even in the first frame. The 3 pins didn't last very long.
And she's moved right side. Turned the ball loose.
Oh, good looking ball.
And a 9. She's still pulling the ball, Nick. In this game, it's the main thing is trust you must.
Trust you must. I have to remember that. Janice McKinney, 43 years of age, and she's been bowling for 22 years, so she's no stranger to this turf. Good looking ball, there it is.
If you wanted to give a clinic on spare shooting, Janice has got the idea. She moves everything that on the left, she bowls from the right. Anything on the right, she moves to the left.
Now here's Jane Jordre. She's 34 years of age. She's from Villa Hills, Kentucky. Little light. Ooh, she almost got the kick out.
Yeah, she pulled that one again. She crossed over and got that little wall shot. Sometimes those go. Anytime you're thin on that head pin and got pins moving around, you're dangerous.
As I say, no one misses the 5 pin, so I'll just go ahead and mark it down here. And
we made a liar out of ourselves last week.
Oh, what I tell ya.
And for the spare.
So Jane Jordre, +1, going into the 4th frame. On the year, Jane's holds a 158 average. And our 3 games in qualifying were a 143, 152, and a 211.
And she's got it in the
there
area.
There it is. Ooh, what happened there, Eddie?
And she comes up with a 710. Well, she hit that one a little in what do we call the beagle. She just hit it right in the beak, and she got the goalpost, and obviously she's just going to shoot down and get the 1. 1 means so much in this match. It's pin count.
How do you pick a 7-10 split up?
Very lucky.
Looks like she's going for it. Ooh.
And that's a smart thing to do. Jane's a smart player out there. She knows what she's doing.
There's Janice McKinney. She holds a 154 season average at the Super Bowl. She got here with a 175, 154, and 167 for 606 total. Oh, there it is.
And is that ever power?
Oh.
I think Janice is here to stay today.
That puts Janice +1.
+1, plus she's got the strike to build on. You know, she's moved to the right. Starts the ball in motion, and there it goes.
Looks like she pulled it a little bit.
And she's got a very difficult spare, Nick. There's several ways to make this. Now she can move. Most of the pros would move to the right and play the ball down the right side and slide it all the way into the pocket. But she may play it on the left side of the head pin, which is what looks like she's going to do, and then billiard them all in there. And if she holds it,
oh no!
Well, that cost her a lot of pins in count. When you're on a strike, 2 means 4.
And we will continue with the rest of this match between Janice McKinney and Jane Jordre right after this. The Super Bowl TV Merit Tournament in Erlanger, Kentucky, at the Super Bowl lanes, of course. That's where we're at, Eddie Jackson and I. Here's Jane Jordre. She's -10 right now. But that will be a race. You can bet on that. An 8 count.
Well, she crossed over and she got a bad break. She didn't get the wall shot to knock out one of them. That's the same hit she had before, Nick. And if she would have got the wall shot, that split would have come out of there.
This is a tough spare to pick up because there's only one place. Well, I guess there's 2 if you want to go with the tipping the pin, but
there's
certainly.
one. You got to throw the beach ball right in between them.
Looked like she hurried a little bit.
You know, Nick, and looking over her little history record, she's got a high series of 636 and a 248 high. But what tickles me is that she's into these race car business. She drives race cars and she works on them. She works in the pits, and she's a very lovely young lady to be driving around a racetrack.
And she's going to drive this ball right in the pocket. She took her time, concentration. There it is. Oh, didn't carry the 10 pin.
And that's all because the ball was moving away from the 1-3 pocket. If that ball would have had a little counterclockwise roll on it, why, you would have seen a different action on that 6 pin. Whenever you see that 6 pin laying in the gutter, you're in between a strike and an 8-10 split. So you bowlers out there, that when you see the 6 laying in the gutter, that is not a tap. You're close, but not in the right ballpark. And that hurt her.
It just fell off into the channel right before it got down to the 10 pin. Tough break. So here's Janice McKinney. She's +9 going into this ball. And she went Brooklyn and got away with 9.
And she's got to the 5 pin again. And you notice Janice does the 14-pound bowling ball with a fingertip, which is kind of unusual for a young lady.
She lets it fly. Oh, she missed it.
And we still got a ball game here, Nick. She had a wonderful opportunity to get up and move out on Jane.
Well, both these ladies are 4 pins difference in scratch average. So we're looking at even ladies, and we have an even match right now, a 9-pin difference.
She better get a wall.
Again, Eddie, she went Brooklyn.
Well, she dropped everything there. She dropped that right shoulder. She got the ball into the lane and pulled it a little bit. But other than that, she's in fine shape. She'll move left, and she'll make this spare. Cross lane. Oh, she's in trouble.
Oh, boy. After coming out of the gates, both these ladies kind of hit a dry spell.
You know, Nick, this is just a reverse of what she did last week. She started out in jail and then got loose on the tube and started throwing ball after ball in good shape. And this week she started off real good with 4 straight marks, and now she's opened up the last 3 times. Jane can get right back in here.
Both these ladies look a little bit shaky. Do you think the lights and the camera and just the excitement of being a part of the TV merit competition has anything to do with it?
Well, I think you said it right off the bat. I don't care how seasoned a veteran, even the fellows that play for the Bucks on the PBA tour, they get a little butterflies when that camera goes on, and then after a couple balls, they settle back.
Ooh!
And she just chopped that. That's a shame.
Both ladies, after 7 frames, are at 135 and 127. McKinney +8, if my arithmetic is on.
It's on.
It's been faulty before. I'm going out on the limb. I'm going to mark it down right now because she's due. I'm just going to have mark it down right there. Oh, boy.
I watched her hand position, and when her hand came off the right side of that ball, she had the good roll on it before she was inside and had the hand counterclockwise.
I could just feel it. It was just time. Now let's see if Janice can answer the call. There's a good-looking ball. Again, it went Brooklyn.
And again, she's pulling everything across. In practice, she was throwing the ball real nice and relaxed down there, and she started off the same way here.
The 5'9" is staring Janice right in the face, and she needs a spare here.
There's 2 ways to shoot this, Nick. You can shoot this down the strike line, or you can play the ball, back it up into it.
Oh,
and
boy.
That's the wrong way.
It is time for Janice to get rolling. 4 frames in a row where she has come away empty-handed.
One thing about doing the ladies show, they get up there, they don't fool around, and they just get the job done and let her rip.
Ooh. Her velocity there almost made something happen that normally wouldn't have. It hit a little light, it banked off the sideboard.
Well, it was once said by an old-timer named Don Carter that he had one pin, always looking for another pin to knock it down, and in that case, that's what Jane did. The pins aren't any good to you if they're in the pit. They got to be on the deck. And another pull.
I tell you, Eddie, it looks like to me that maybe she's dropping the ball a little early, and it's rolling a little more than normal.
I think she's got caught up in nerves right now, Nick. She's pressing a little bit. She's getting an early start. She's not thinking about what she wants to do with the shot, and I'm sure that when she views this, she's going to realize that and come back and bowl real well the next time.
There's Jane. She looks a little more relaxed with a 9 count. So Jane Jordre just has moved into the lead for the first time since the 2nd frame. So it's been a while. You got to be patient, and like you say, there's no defense in bowling. It's an offensive game.
No, Janice is sitting on the bench saying, "I wonder what I can do now." And
big ball, big ball. So looking ahead in the 10th frame, Jordre's plus 4, but working on a spare. So a couple strike balls here, and that's all locked up.
She could be as much as 15 pins up right now, Nick. And Janice is sitting on the bench, and she could be shut out very quickly.
There's Jane Jordre. Good-looking ball. Watch out. Ow! Ooh! Ooh! Boy, it's shaking.
Now, you know, you've heard me talk about the weak 6 laying in the gutter, and people think that's a tap. That, my friend, there is a solid 10 pin, where the 6 pin hits up over the top of the neck of that pin, and that's what you call a good, strong rolling ball.
You could almost count that as 9.5, because that baby was wobbling. And
she...
ooh. So she closes out with a 175. So Janice McKinney needs a double plus a 3 count. A double plus a 4 count to win it.
She definitely needs the first 2.
Let's see.
And it's all over.
Well, again, Janice McKinney, she's been bowling super to qualify. She qualified last week and got beat 185-175 by Gene Weatherford in the first round. Now this week, same thing. She qualifies and gets beat out in the first round. But look at all the TV experience. There's the ball.
Well, you know, she's a waitress, and if there's a lot of people that watch this show, I'm sure she'll get needled about not doing well on TV, but at least, Nick, she made the show.
Oh, yeah. Nothing to be ashamed about.
And believe me, I've been beat on television, and I've also been beat on television by a young lady.
175-171 is the final score. Jane Jordre advances, and she'll take on Cheryl Henderson, the top qualifier. And we'll have that match and more coming up right after this. Jane Jordre, who defeated Janice McKinney in the first match, will be starting on lane 7. 175-171 was our first match. She'll be facing Cheryl Henderson, who was the top qualifier with a 614. Jane Jordre had a 606. So again, another even match. And talk about a good way to start out. And here's an 8 count.
That's the way she came in the first game. She had down the shot, down the middle, and again, she had her hand back up underneath the ball instead of off the side.
Well, she finished strong last game with a strike and a spare. So maybe that good ball will carry on over. And there's a good ball. Mark it down.
And that's the way she should be throwing the first ball, because her hand was right at the 5 o'clock position. When I teach you, Nick, I always try and tell them to keep their hand, their fingers at 5 o'clock.
Here's Cheryl Henderson, takes no time getting up there and hits a little high with a 9 count. Cheryl's 25 years of age. She's 5'2". She's married and kind of asked how many children does she have. She says, on the way. That's right. She's bowling this ball right now. And good looking ball, picks up the spare. So again, both bowlers come out of the block.
You know, I've watched several young ladies that, and again, I'll get in trouble again, but Marge Oster, who is the mother of Ronnie Oster, was one of the more famous bowlers in Cincinnati, who won 3 city titles while she was pregnant. And a good rolling ball.
A little high again. Cheryl with a 7 count. She has a 24 handicap where Jane has a 33. So she needs to make up 9 pins difference there.
You notice, Nick, she's cross lane. No, she drifted to the right.
It's going to hang in there, though. Oh, no, it chopped it.
And that's one of the disadvantages of not having the ball slide into the 6-10. The ball took a roll on the back end and knocked off the 6 off the 10. She'd have bowled from the left. That ball could possibly have been sliding into the 3 or the 6, 10, 9.
Here's Jane Jordre. Good looking ball. Oh, doggy. There it is. So Jordre, hot. Maybe. Do you think maybe that carried over from last game? She finished strong in the opening round.
Yeah, she's getting a little more comfortable out here. Of course, again, she's used to competition, and I don't think she's affected by the lights as much as the rest of them are. And if she stays on the right side of that bowling ball, it's dynamite.
Here we go. Good looking ball. Hit a little light. Pulled out a 9 count. And again, the famous 5.
You know, Nick, summer leagues break the ice and make warm friends in a cool summer fun league. So there's great openings are available for women, men, mixed couples, and juniors from the ages of 6 to 18, and senior citizens. Also for team captains who form a team, they will receive a free pair of designer jeans. So stop by or call 727-BOWL to sign up.
And Jane just barely missed the 5 pin. Jane's plus 22. So Cheryl's got some ground to make up. There's a good looking ball. Yes. Nice ball from Cheryl Henderson.
And if you notice the action on that 5 pin, that's the type of action that you get when you roll that ball from the foul line on. And of course, she's using one of those urethane balls, which is a little softer than the one that Jane is using.
You know, Cheryl's ball is a 15-pound, 6-ounce ball. And there's a double.
And another ripper.
Oh, Cheryl in qualifying bowled a 193, 159, and a 190, plus a handicap for a 614.
Of course, Cheryl's been bowling for 7 years, and she has a high average of 170. And Jane's going to have to get into the game here.
Good. There it is. Good looking ball.
And the dual trip 4. That's the bowler's friend. What happens there, the ball finishes high on the pocket, and the 2 pin comes out of the channel and knocks out the 4-7.
Jane Jordre.
Jane is a little more deliberate now, I think.
Good looking
catch
ball.
her break.
A little high, a 7 count.
Now we'll see if Jane crosses lanes on this.
She's crossing lane.
And she did.
And
it's the same shot she was making on the 10 pin, only that time she got the 10.
so here's Cheryl working on a double. Right now she's down 1, but that's going to be erased real quick. Yes, sir. Beautiful. Cheryl Henderson.
She's a little reminiscent of a very well-known young lady who made Cincinnati famous not too long ago when she was pregnant. And that was a young lady named Nancy Fair, and I don't think anybody has to tell you that her husband is Steve Fair.
She's hot. Watch out. There, she went a little Brooklyn with it for an 8 count. Cheryl Henderson +9 and building with a strike in the 5th frame. Well, these ladies, they just don't waste any time. They step right up there. And there's a good looking ball.
And again, she chopped it off.
Boy, tough break. So Jane Jordre -20. It's time for a big ball here, Eddie.
It sure is. She's going to have to start striking. And there's still room. As long as there's paper, there's room.
Let's see. She looked good. Look good. Oh, there it is. Jane Jordre. Boy, these ladies are really performing in the clutch.
That's what is known as the old wall shot, and the ball has to be rolling to get that kind of action. You know, over here at Super Bowl, they have the TGIF, and it's thank goodness it's Friday. And Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. you can practice for only 50 cents a game, and that's quite a bargain. So if you want to sharpen up your game and come out here and qualify on the show, come out here on a Friday from 9 a.m. to 5.
Would take a lot of Fridays for me. And here's Jordre. She pulled it a little bit, and as expected, an 8 count. Did not carry the 5. So if she gets a mark here, she'll cut the lead down to 9 pins. We're in for a barn burner. Jane will get this. You can see the confidence building in her.
Myself, I would be playing this a little more left and sliding the ball back into it.
Well, this is herself, and look at that.
That's
Covered it up,
shot.
picked it up. So that puts the pressure back on Cheryl again. Cheryl's +9, but Jane's working on a spare. But this lady is rolling a good ball. And there it is. Hello, darling. She left one.
She left one is right.
Boy, in practice preceding this telecast, she threw that same ball, and she left that 10 pin about 3 times in a row. And I'm sure it had an effect a little bit coming into the match, but that shut me up real quick with 3 in a row. Here it is, a tough ball. She flattens it out and picks the spare up.
Man, that was a good coverage. It's a wonder. I'm thinking to myself, why didn't she shoot that same shot going at the 610? It was a good shot.
Big ball for Cheryl Henderson. It looks good. Right there. Hello. Oh, goodbye. It's going to fall. It did not fall. Oh, boy.
She sent them all over there. She had that one going over there. If it would have been your leg, Nick, it would have been broken. She's cross alley at it.
And she got it.
Fair.
I just cannot believe that pin didn't fall. It was swarmed by the white and red. So here's Jane Jordre, down 9. Cheryl's on a spare. Strike time.
Now there's plenty of room yet. She's got to get this.
A little more velocity on this ball, and oh, why didn't the 10 carry there?
Well, if you remember what I said, when you leave the 6 laying there and you're in between the 8, 10 and the strike, and the 8 was the last pin to get out of there. It's because the ball didn't have that good roll that she normally has. And this is the spare that she's been having trouble with.
We have a 9-pin difference. Big ball here. And no.
She's still got problems with it.
Yeah, as soon as she let that go, she knew that it was off. She turned around and walked away. But here's the foundation frame, number 9.
Well, if she struck it out, Nick, she could reach to 215.
Jane Jordre, Villa Hills, Kentucky resident, steps up for big ball, and there it is. Big strike. So it's not over. It is not over by no means. Cheryl Henderson. She's plus 10, plus whatever she gets on this ball.
And it's a roller.
Oh, excellent ball. She's plus 20. Both ladies are working on a strike, going into the 10th frame. And she buries them.
You know, Nick, the only problem she's had is those 2 chops on the 6-10. She gets that ball out there.
There it is, little high. Oh, it looked like,
guess what we got?
It was gonna fall. Well,
we got the 6-10.
She's had enough practice, I guess.
She'll make it this time.
I guess I'll agree with that. It flattens it out. There it is. On the scorecard.
She just did get her down. I heard somebody in the background go,
I think Cheryl was saying the same thing. Cheryl normally averages a 170, so she can knock them down.
And she strikes, and Jane goes all the way.
Oh, and there's a 9 count. Super ball game. A 2-1-4, 2-14 for Cheryl Henderson.
Do you know we could have a tie game?
If.
If she throws 2 and 9, if Jane throws 2 and 9, if she just takes her time and throws 2 and 9, we got an even ball game.
Well, she's already had 4 strikes this game.
And she is taking her time.
And she's working on one. Nobody breathe. Here we go. Let's see what we got. Brooklyn.
And there's one.
There's one. Oh, boy. And if she throws 3, what a way to win it.
And
what is going on in her mind right now, Eddie?
Right now, she's just thinking nothing of just take my time and execute. Just take my time. Look at her eyes looking on the spot. She's looking at the pins.
Let's see. Here it is. Big ball. She pulled it. Hit a little light, and no, she didn't kick out.
Well, she gave it a good try, I'll say that.
Oh, she sure did. She's going to finish with a 200 plus. That's not a bad try. Cheryl Henderson, our second women's champion. Connie Block won last week. And there it is, a 2-0-0 for Jane Jordre. So Cheryl Henderson is the champion the second week of bowling. And next up, we have the gentlemen, Eddie, and we're looking forward to some good bowling. And we'll be back with the first men's match between Tony Enos and Larry Sidner right after this.